Hello, Tara Lapidus. I am want to show you a few things, and one of them is somewhat culturally insensitive. So if you are easily offended or don't want to see it, um, uh, you should leave now. I'm going to show a couple of other things beforehand, but I thought it was just an interesting artifact of the time, and it relates to the 1978 tour, the Budokan concert, and the way it was covered in the press. The terminology, as I said, is culturally insensitive, and I'll get to that. I didn't want to actually uh, get a scan it and put it on the website because I didn't want to copy. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. But I had a few other things I wanted to show you beforehand. In the box set of the Budokan, Complete Budokan 1978 box set that is just coming out. It has a tour book from 1978. It's all in Japanese. This is the one that's I got. That's the American or English version, and it's got. I didn't double check, but it's the same thing, just in English, and it's one of the better um, uh, programs that ever came out, and it has one of my favorite reviews, which I mentioned in my previous video, written by Stephen Levy in the Free Times, Philadelphia, PA, September 24th, 1976, where he writes a very long article review explaining why Hard Rain was a great television special when everyone else was probably giving it terrible reviews. And I said it definitely had an effect on me and how when I was trying to understand what Bob Dylan was doing when I was very young, or somewhat young, that was something that was very influential in the way I thought about him. This is the American double album of Budokan at Budokan from 1978. This was, I believe, I inherited my sister's copy. She got rid of her records, and I got this one. And this is something I found for $5.99 at Nuggets in Kenmore Square. Stu, who runs Nuggets, I saw him at all three Orpheum shows recently, Bob Dylan. And this is a promo version. If you can see the promo code there, promo stamp. And it's one of those white labeled, not for sale. This is a bootleg I got of the 78 tour. I think it's LA. Yeah, June 2nd, 1978, Universal Amphitheater in Los Angeles. And so there's that. So here comes the culturally insensitive newspaper, musical weekly newspaper from the UK. It's called Melody Maker. It's volume 53, number 10, 1978. 15 pence weekly, or in the US and Canada, 75 cents. Long time ago. And the Melody Maker is one of the big three music papers, weekly music papers of the time. There's the NME, New Musical Express. There's Melody Maker, which this is, and then there was Sound, which was more sort of heavy metal, hard rock, from what I remember. So when Dylan went to Japan, he, obviously it was big news. And there was plenty of questionable headlines. There's a band called Suicide. Bruce Springsteen's a fan. Rick Ocasek's a fan. So the headline there is Suicide Committed to Britain. There's a big article on the Ruddles, which is awesome. A lot of cool things. So here's the headline. And so brace yourself again if you don't want to see something that might be offensive. Here you go. And then when we go to page 3 to read the article, here's the other headline. So, anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in this shoot. 70s were very different in some ways and not so much in other ways. But that was something that I thought was, again, in context. Dylan was front page news. I probably got that in the Harvard Square, right in Harvard Square. There's a newsstand right there that a lot of magazines, when there were a lot of magazines, and I probably just saw it and picked it up. And I guess that's it. So hopefully no one's offended, and I don't know if I overreacted, but it just seems. I think at the time I also thought it was weird and culturally insensitive, even though I may not have used that term. All right. So anyway, the new Budokan album is a great thing to own. It is great to listen to. It sounds great, and it is an important part in kind of like when Dylan kind of changed from the 60s, 70s Dylan to a new kind of person or artistic trajectory where he continued. I think he built from then on, kind of as a dividing line. So anyway, there you go. Bye-bye.